Repair sequence complete.
Alright, we need a new game for the Indeimaus show. I wanna cover something I was playing when I was growing up as a kid. I only grew up with PCs, so that rules out a lot of old school games. That's like a LucasArts of the 90s. That's where it was at. Monkey Island, The Dig, Day of the Tentacle. Do I have any of these old school PC games anymore? Do I have any PC games anymore? Oh, I'm sure I can find something in there. Alright, let's have a look through these games here. Isaac, nope. That's not suitable for now. How about Final Fantasy VIII? No, I don't think many people like that. Ooh, The Dig. That's a Lucas classic. To be honest with you, I've never played this game. I just bought it because I'm like, hey, LucasArts adventure game. That'll be fun. Never played it. So, that's not really suitable. Wait a minute. What the hell was that sound? Did you guys hear that? It's like jazz. Grim Fandango, now we're talking. I can't believe I still have this game. An epic tale of crime, corruption in the land of the dead. I think I found it, guys. I think I found the game I want to play. Look at these screenshots. Oh my god. Look, it's we got disc A and we got disc B. I guess 1 and 2 weren't invented back then. So Grim Fandango was an adventure game released in 1998 by LucasArts, who don't exist anymore. Man, what happened to Star Wars 1313? Rest his soul. The game was directed by Tim Schafer, the guy who you probably know today is running Double Fine, or maybe you know him from making all that money from Kickstarter to make that other adventure game that I just haven't had time to play yet. So I received Grim Fandango when I was a kid, probably around the same time it came out for my birthday. This is the exact copy that I actually received on that day. I don't know what EA Classics has to do with anything. I guess they're just putting their grubby hands on anything that they don't have anything to do with, I guess, so that's great. So I don't remember my exact impressions on Grim Fandango from all those years ago. You know, I was just a dumb kid. My brain wasn't working properly. Still isn't, I guess. But I have played it about 4 or 5 times since release. I played it not too long ago with my girlfriend, and of course I played it for the research of this video. And of course, I didn't use the discs from this box. You think these still work on today's computers? Nope! I guess I don't even really need that. Let's jump into it, shall we? Let's play some Grim Fandango. I already played it. This was recorded after. So Grim Fandango itself is inspired by the Mexican holiday Day of the Dead, with all the skeletons and the colors and the flowers, you know that kind of stuff. Okay, so I don't really know that much about the Day of the Dead apart from its visuals, but as for the story within Grim Fandango, you play as Manny Calavera, a travel agent, a Grim Reaper, if you will, which to him is a dead-end job. Dead end, everybody! This game's about Land of the Dead, and it's dead-end job, people. Oh, God, kill me. Manny's existence in the Land of the Dead is to help those who die in our world pass through by offering them packages on how to traverse the land in the least dangerous way possible to that land of eternal rest. The reason he does this is explained off as,
"Oh, I can't leave here until I've worked off a little debt to the powers that be."
Whatever the hell that means. But the better these souls live when they're alive, the better package they can afford in the afterlife. For example, if you're an absolute saint, then you've probably scored yourself a ticket on the number 9, a top-of-the-line express train which shoots straight to the 9th underworld in 4 minutes. Although if you've been a scumlord or murderer, then you're probably looking at a 4-year walking trip. Oh God, what have I done? Now I have to walk for 4 years in the afterlife? For 90% of the souls that can't afford such trips as the number 9 or the premium cruise, they end up doing the walk. But along the way, they give up all hope and find all sorts of different jobs throughout the land of the dead. And this is where the game basically begins. There's been a mass poisoning in the land of the living, and Manny Calavera is sick of getting deadweights who don't earn him any commissions. He wants to get there early to find a corpse that might be worthy of that big cash payout of the premium package, the number 9 ticket. Manny ends up stealing a lovely lady called Mechi, who was originally going to be a client for Manny's associate, Domino. I think his name's Domino because his hands are dominoes? I don't know. But this guy is the company big shot. He gets all the good clients and is Don's favorite, who is their boss, by the way. But when they get back to work, turns out Manny's computer is like, nope, no ticket for her, she's been off for all her life. Manny, frustrated with the situation, sends Meche on her way and delves deeper into what's going on. Turns out the whole game is rigged. Domino and their boss Don have programmed the computer to deny as many double-end tickets as possible so they can take them for themselves, hoarding a bunch of them for the boss of the criminal underworld, Hector LeMans, who then sells them tickets for ridiculous prices to those who can afford them. Finding all of this out, Manny is pissed, but he knows he can't do jack to stop them. It's out of his power, so instead he teams up with the mechanic of the company, a demon known as Glottis. I should probably mention that the demons in the world are brought up from the depths of hell to do the labor jobs. The plumbers, the mechanics, the electricians, etc., etc. But seriously, just imagine that. Imagine if demons were like the laborers of our world. Hey, you fixed those water pipes yet?
No! Shut up!
Okay. Manny Calavera and Glottis leave for their own trip to find Meche in a nearby petrified forest. On the way, Manny runs into another soul known as Sal, or Salvador, who is the leader of a small underground organization under the name Lost Souls Alliance, or LSA for short, who are also aware of the shady business going on in the criminal underworld.
Well, of course.
Manny?
I was once a reaper like yourself, Manuel. But I uncovered a web of corruption in our beloved Department of Death.
So eventually Manny ends up in a small port city named Rubacava. Talking to the local folk, no one's actually seen Meche, so he figures that he's beaten her to the town and decides to wait. So to pass the time, he gets a job as a janitor? Now this is where the game takes a unique approach to chapters. The game is ultimately divided into 4 chapters spanning over 4 years. Each chapter takes place on November 2nd for each consecutive year, and this is where the first chapter ends. The game does this awesome transition where the camera goes up and says 1 year later and comes back down. While this is pretty awesome in theory, I could imagine if this happened in real life, the depressing fact that I was going nowhere in my life would start to become pretty obvious. So after the year passes, it turns out Manny is now the owner of the building he was originally janitoring, whatever, man. I don't care about that shit.
Hey, boss. You gonna come downstairs? I got a customer asking for you.
Well, he also has a new badass suit. Look at that thing. It's beautiful. From here we find out that Manny's previous boss, Don, has been sprouted, which is this world's form of being hit, being shot, being killed. Except, with flowers. Because this is a port town, Manny spots Meche on a boat with none other than his rival Domino. He takes chase on a boat of his own. This time is where another year passes. I promise there's a lot of gameplay in between this year and next year, but come on, we're just focus on the main story, guys. We can't have this video be 17,000 hours long.
Captain Calavera?
Puerto Zapato, sailor. We're here at last. Beautiful port, isn't she?
Here we find out Domino owns a mining facility and he's using Meche to lure Manny here. You also find out that this evil bastard is also keeping all his previous clients who he stole the double N tickets from as slaves to work for him. This guy's an evil bastard! I always knew there was something off with those little dominoes. Are they, is that a board? What are dominoes? Is it a board game? Is it, what the? Toy? Leave the comment below telling me what dominoes are, please. Domino tries to convince Manny that he can stay at the mining facility forever with Meche and live happily ever after. Manny, of course, declines his said offer because he ain't stupid. He ain't stupid, Domino! And some stuff happens. Manny and Domino end up fighting in a dangerous situation, and Manny crushes the competition. You could say Domino folded in this poker game. Manny is on a roll. Alright, let's stop. So with Hector LeMans second in charge down, Manny has one final target. The man himself.
It's yours too. And as an added bonus, 2% of these, Mr.
My name's Calavera.
This is not a man you want to mess with, but come on, we got Manny, we got Gladys, we got the LSA on our side. This will be a cakewalk. This is where our final year passes. We reconnect with our heroes in the midst of a journey where they reach Terminus. Those who arrive, survive. But really, this is the final stop for the number 9 train before it reaches the 9th underworld. This is the gateway, the end of the line, but you can't enter unless you have that golden ticket, and this ain't no Willy Wonka factory. You can't get that shit in your candy bar.
Of my creation.
They have to get them from the criminal mastermind who has been stealing them from all the innocent people. Hell, if he can get them back, then all the people who deserve their tickets can get them back as well. This is a win-win situation. Well, except for Manny travels back to an old town that is now owned by Hector and regroups with the previously mentioned LSA, who have a secret base amongst the sewer system. This is where we find out that not only has Hector been stealing people's tickets, but also counterfeiting his own as well. I mean, come on, what the hell, man? Selling them's not good enough. We do some secret agent things and end up confronting Hector, but we're ambushed by a lady named Olivia, who is, she's throughout the game, but I'm not covering everything, guys. I already mentioned this. We get into a fancy black car and we find out that the leader of the LSA has also been captured, Salvador, but his fate seems to be a beheading? I don't know, I guess he's still talking, so he seems fine. I'm not sure, I guess flowers kill them, but if you're just a head, you're all good. And they're taken to Hector's greenhouse to be sprouted. Sal manages to beat Olivia, even as a head. I guess you could say, we're ahead in this fight. We have a shootout with Hector, end up winning. We find a suitcase full of double N tickets. Meche ends up getting her ticket that she deserved. Manny makes sure everyone else gets their rightful tickets and then is granted one of them for all the good deeds he's done in the land of the dead. And they board the number 9 for their happy journey into the 9th underworld. And there it is, Grim Fandango. Now, me talking about it and showing all this footage of it does no justice. This game is an absolute brilliance amongst adventure game titles and will remain as one of my favorite all-time games. The characters, the gameplay, the story, the voice acting, it's all spot on, and this was a prime time to be a gamer, when LucasArts were making adventure games like these. Now, some people probably prefer things like Monkey Island or Day of the Tentacle, but for me, Grim Fandango is where it's at. It's sad to realize that we'll never have a game like it. A sequel, even if it could happen, would never be as good, and to be honest, I think I'd rather just leave it as is. Sequels these days are like a curse. Every game needs a sequel, they say, and usually they just end up driving the franchise into the ground. But, sure, there's some games that have good sequels, and sometimes they're even better than the originals, but for Grim Fandango, let's just leave it how it is, and just remember it for what it was. Thanks for watching this brand new episode of the Indeimaus Show. I hope you enjoyed it. Remember, if you did, leave a like, share it around, and tell me in the comments what's your favorite adventure game. Is it The Walking Dead, The Monkey Island, Day of the Tentacle, The Dig? Tell me how The Dig is, guys. But your support means the world to me. Also, go follow me on Twitter to stay up to date with what's going on in the world of Indeimaus. I also have a Facebook and a Tumblr, so you can follow them as well if you're into them kind of website things. And remember, this whole episode was brought to you by my Patreon page, where people are supporting me and allowed me to get better equipment to make this episode even better than it would have been without it. So if you want to support what I'm doing here and you still want to use AdBlock, then go check that out. It's a pretty cool system, so I do thank all my patrons for that, and I'll see you guys soon with some more videos.